What's up, my country people? What's up? What's good, guys? It's Confabulation Desk with Patrick Xim, and I'm back with another exciting video, guys. And just like I promised in my last movie review, today I'll be reviewing I Am Not a Witch, directed by Rungano Nyoni. So, before I get into this video, do make sure to click the subscribe button, turn on the bell that you might be notified I upload a video, and do comment down below in my comment section, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. So let's get straight into this video. So I Am Not a Witch is a story about so I Am Not a Witch is a movie that stars Zambian top actor Mr. Henry B.J. Piri, who plays the role of Mr. Banda, a government official or a government officer. And we also have the young girl, or the witch, Maggie Mulumbwa, who plays the role of Shula. So it's a story of an 8-year-old girl who just suddenly, from nowhere, no one knows who she is, probably an orphan or from another village, or just ran from home, just appears in this village. And the first time we see her, or she's introduced to us, is we see a clip or a scene where a woman has a bucket of water on her head and she falls down with the bucket of water. And that is superstitious to some people, probably in African tradition. I'm not sure about that superstition. Like, if you fell and there's a person is standing in front of you, then the person who's standing in front of you is a witch. But she later is tried after that event. There's only one event, not a series of events. And they also say, oh, even this water, check the water. We don't know what happened to the water. They didn't show us anything. If the water was dirty, if the water had blood or anything like that, nothing. The water was just dirty because people were fetching water from a well, okay? And that woman actually was fetching water from a well. After she's tried, a local traditional court, so to say, she accepts that she neither accepted nor denied that she was a witch. So that meant that she was a witch, according to them. But we don't really get to see if she is a witch. Rather, what we see is assumptions, okay? So this movie lets you make your own ending. It makes you make a decision if Shula was a witch or not, okay? But it would just be a coincidence, or just, you know, it would just happen. It wasn't inevitable. It would be inevitable that it would rain, you know, September, October. But what happens is that we see that it's just crazy, guys. It lets you make your own conclusion and your own judgment if Shula was a witch or not. But what we get to see is, after she identifies a thief at a local court trial, she is called My Witch, or Akaloshikandi, by Henry B.J. Piri, or Mr. Banda calls her my little witch, or Kaloshikandi, and he starts treating her well, taking her on tours, radio, television, and all that. She's taken to the rich guys in that community, the white people, and she's introduced and all that, because she's alleged to be a witch, and she's been taken on different paths. But all those things, we see that it was only for the benefit of the government official, who is deeply rooted in corrupt acts. We see him making calls and talking to people about selling land and all that, and he's selling eggs. It's only for his benefit to enrich himself. We see there's a lot of corruption. We are shown that this place has no school, okay? It has no school, and it just also reviews the part where the disabled people, or albinos, are classified as disabled, because we see this school of blind albinos and maybe other people, it has people with other forms of disabilities. But Shula, I don't think she was supposed to be in that school. Probably other people wouldn't see her, or other people wouldn't mind that she was a witch. But we see that there's a lack of education, a lack of infrastructure. A lot of people are uneducated, and there's no drinking water, and there's just corruption everywhere. Instead of viewed at a proper court, which might be presided by a judge or stuff like that, we see him using Shula as the judge and decide who is the thief, okay? Instead of using the chief or stuff like that, they use Shula. But we see that these witches are exploited by the queen, who is the owner of the witches. They're put in this concentration camp with long ribbons, and they would go anywhere far. Okay, they would go far, and they can go anywhere and still be put back to the camp or put back anywhere. And they're waking up early in the morning to start their work. They're exploited, but in return they're given shelter and protection from the community. Because we see that Mr. Banda's wife is harassed when she goes shopping, where she's called witch, and everyone just stones her, everyone just calls her names, and it was really bad for her, but she managed to put up with that behavior. But we see that Shula, the more she sees such, she cannot put up with such, and at the end of the movie she says, I should have chosen to be a god than being a witch, because the god is free to go anywhere it wants. And that was the concept of the movie. Rungano Nyoni was inspired by acts or what she had seen where she had gone, what she had seen in Ghana, where she had found, that's where she found this witch concentration camp, which is not in Zambia, of course. So her idea was about, you know, her idea was trying to end stereotype. Okay, so the movie addresses issues that have to do with stereotypes, superstitions in various African communities and stuff like that. And what else? It also talks about the gender imbalance or inequality that we have, because we see that Shula is put out of school to just go and perform some fetish stuff so that it might rain, or so that it might rain, obviously, in the community, because they had not seen rain for some time. That was the scenario. So she's put out of school because she has to perform some rituals, some sort. So that addresses the issue of the gender gap and how ladies or women are treated, or girls are treated in communities, in African communities especially, that they can be called back from school just to go and work. Okay, so that is also another thing. And she wanted to end the stereotype and the idea of a witch can only be an old woman, but anyone, probably just anyone can be a witch. But who is a witch? Probably the witch is that person who is, you know, who is calling the other person a witch, who is separating people from their families. The man who accused his mother-in-law of being a witch, he separated her from her daughter. Probably the person who is avoiding Shula a better education, that's a witch to me. Who is a witch? That person, man. Anyone who would stop you from doing what you're supposed to do, anyone who would stop you from achieving your goal, for me, it's that person is a witch. So Shula was, for me, she wasn't a witch. Okay, the witch was Henry B.J. Peary, who was trying to enrich himself by using Shula and Adam and all that. And the witch is someone who uses people, exploiting them without paying them, because the queen in that village was surely clearly exploiting those people and without getting paid. Only, and you'd be appalled. And you see that these old women, so Shula is given comfort by these old women. She finds comfort in these old women, but we see that they later start exploiting her. That since she became a celebrity witch of some sort, so every time she's paid a bottle of gin, that's what they called it, a wine or whiskey and stuff like that. I don't know if it's a wine. I don't drink, so I don't know if it's a wine or whiskey. She takes it to the women so that they might drink it, or they might use it to pay for their wigs, where she's overworked by those women. We later see that Shula later dies. Okay, she dies, and they mourn her and stuff like that, and that's where the movie ends.